Hello and welcome to the PlayStation Unchained Anime Podcast, the Problematic Sticker. I am your host this week, Chille. With us,
please be frightened.
I always be frightened when I'm hosting because it's scary and confusing. It's just like spending time with me, really, which is scary and confusing for everyone.
No, that's just what you are. You're scared and confused.
Always. Where am I?
And I'm just dazed and confused all the times.
As you can hear, we've got some other co-hosts, as always, with us this week. It's not just me talking to myself. We've got a Klauss, the bring-in of the Knights.
What's up, everybody?
How are you doing today?
Apparently, I'm the terror that flaps in the night.
Yes.
Or something like that.
Yes, you are.
Darkwing Duck!
Really?
Sorry.
That sounds really
dangerous.
Yes! Oh, the nostalgia.
Right?
Oh.
Yeah, we're old.
We are.
We are.
But no, I'm doing fine.
You don't get that reference. Stop watching.
Stop
Stop listening.
I got the reference, but I never watched it. So, has it been a good week, Klauss?
It has been a pretty busy week, actually. We had a new episode of Phoenix on Radio last night that we had a Chille on.
I'm shocked.
I know, right?
Yeah.
If it's not a new episode of Phoenix on Radio, it's a new episode of Moon Go Round Radio, isn't it?
I know.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
next Saturday at twitch.tv/radio.
Shameless plugs aside, I finally finished my entire set of shiny evolutions.
Ooh.
I evolved my Umbreon last night.
Nice.
And thanks to the Chille luck I got, I only had to evolve one of each.
I used my powers of hacks to make sure that the RNG was in his favor.
Either that or he sacrificed to Lalafell.
Maybe.
For those who play Final Fantasy XIV, you might get the reference.
So has it been? How was the stats on that Umbreon?
That one was just it was the best one I could find. You know, shinies when you get them are usually pretty crap.
Yeah.
I didn't get a lot of really good shinies, just the one, and that one I turned into my Espeon.
Oh.
That one's better in the meta at this point, but
Nice.
I'm going to talk more about that if this were a Pokemon Go podcast.
Hey, Pokemon is still an anime.
It is true.
That nobody watches anymore.
Hey, I've heard that a lot of people like the new Sun and Moon anime. You know, where they rebooted it with Ash being a kid again, sort of thing. He's going to school.
Haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it myself, but I've heard a lot of hype about it.
Interesting.
Yeah, but a lot of people like complimenting the art style. So, I want to give it a look sometime.
Different.
Yeah, they've redone all the art. So, anyway, let's go to the other host. Chris, how are you doing today?
I am okay, as usual, as per usual, hopefully. I gotta say, I'm a little bit of a miserable, I'm gonna be a miserable old curmudgeon here, and just say that back in my day, you kids have it too easy. Back in my day, I didn't even get a shiny Pokemon until my 10th playthrough. You kids walking around with all your goddamn shiny Pokemon nowadays. You know how hard it was for us to get them back in the days? Sorry. I'm just like, wow, everybody's got shiny Pokemon. Actually, seriously, I didn't get my first shiny Pokemon, like, ever. I didn't even know they existed until, like, 10 years after I played the first fucking Pokemon games on Game Boy.
Well, you always got one. You always got
Did
one.
I?
Yeah.
Which one was it? I didn't even remember. I don't even remember.
Gold and Silver, I think it was. The Lake of Rage.
Oh, the Gyarados,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a shiny Gyarados right there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, see, like I said, it wasn't until, like, Gold and Silver, fucking years later. I didn't even find out about the shiny Gyarados until years later. No, it's just like, and now shiny Pokemon are everywhere. Everybody's got one, and I'm just like...
Yeah. Well, it's mainly a Pokemon Go. I've never caught a shiny in the real main games.
I don't think I have. An actual, like, a random wild encounter, I think I've had maybe one, and I can't even remember what Pokemon it was on. It was so long ago.
All I want is a shiny Magikarp. That's what I want in life.
I'll trade you one.
Yay! I just have to fly to America.
Exactly. Or fly me out to Scarborough.
Nah, you'll get attacked by werewolves.
That's true. We don't want that. Or vampires.
No,
Are you saying, Klaus, you want to go to Scarborough Fair?
Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme.
Here's to you, Mrs. Fleckenstein.
I
And
must
Lowry
admit,
seasoned salt.
that's the only reason why I like Bayonetta, because of the guns.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We have one more host, though.
Yeah, we've got another host. Someone who hates video games. Garri. Garri. This is when you say words.
Why? Why do I hate video games?
That's not a question to ask us. How you doing, man?
Come on. I'm pretty good.
Nice. How was your week?
It was decent.
Good. Now, I heard there's been some news about the Dragon Ball Super movie, and that you might know some of the information.
Yes. If you want. So there's two bits of information that came out. One, people kind of speculated, and some people kind of already knew. But the most overrated character in all of Dragon Ball is going to be in the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie.
Wait, I didn't know they confirmed Tarbell.
Oh,
No, that's a
because
character.
they're both terrible.
Nobody even knows that's a character.
What about Slug?
No,
I think there's like
Bardock,
3 people that know about Slug.
Bardock has been confirmed for the Dragon Ball Super movie. I'm assuming in a flashback sequence.
Yeah.
We talked about. I feel like there's going to be plenty of those, and I still firmly stand by the fact that in the trailer when we see Frieza fighting Broly, that's a flashback scene, and I believe Broly and Frieza have already faced off way before that. Before the events of today.
Who was the first person to predict Bardock?
You were, Ben.
Yeah.
You were.
Yes, I was.
Indeed.
You predict the world, my friend. You predict the world.
I know you're really good at predicting stuff in Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
As Bardock is confirmed, we haven't seen any video footage. We haven't seen any concept art of him. So, in what capacity he's going to appear in, is still unknown.
I'm going to tell you now. You know that pod scene in the trailer where you see the hand, or whatever it was? That'll be Goku. That'll be a flashback. I'm calling it now that pod is Goku's pod and that hand is Bardock's. It's probably going to be
before he sent him off.
Yeah, it's probably going to be the scene from Dragon Ball Minus, which was a official manga by Toriyama, which gave a new backstory to Goku in a way, sort of a spin. Yeah, not the original movie, but they had Bardock. Bardock basically find out about Frieza's plans because he found it suspicious that Frieza asked for every. I won't go too much into the manga, so you can go read it if you want. It's like a spin-off of the Jacko manga. Basically, they had all the Saiyans return back to planet Vegeta, and Bardock found that a bit suspicious. So when he got back to the planet, he talked to his wife. We actually got to meet his Goku's mother, Jean, and they talked about the fact that they found it a bit weird that all the Saiyans were told to come back. And then we got a little scene where they put baby Goku in that sort of that like pod, and sent him off to Earth because they thought that would be the safest place for him because it's further away. It wasn't that evening to take over.
Nice.
So and that sort of hand scene was like one of the last panels of the manga, and so I'm guessing it's just like an adaptation of that, Bardock's last scene. Whether there'll be more Bardock or not, I don't know. And hopefully we'll actually see Goku's mother in, like, official anime form for once.
Pretty cool. The other thing is I feel like we'll find out the reason Beerus wanted the Saiyans destroyed.
Yeah.
Destroy them is because of Broly. and the danger that Broly posed to him in particular.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even be surprised if we see King Cold in some capacity in this movie as well.
I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see the first ever. And this is pulling straws, but this might be the first time we ever see Cooler officially.
Surprised, yeah, if he made Cooler canon as well.
I mean,
maybe
look,
the three of them had to team up to take down Broly because
Yeah.
Frieza couldn't do it on his own.
because look at the Dragon. I know it's a little bit horrible of an anime, but look at the Dragon Ball Heroes anime where they put a bit of a spotlight on Cooler. I like the theory that some people thought that the reason why Cooler is in the Heroes anime is because they want to try and get him sort of in people's minds for when they sort of re-announce him for the series. Again,
so
that's just a theory, and I don't really believe in it, but maybe.
Has been confirmed. The other news came out from an interview that I believe was done by the producers and the director. They were talking about how powerful the characters have become and came up of how powerful Broly is compared to, Super Saiyan Blue and all that. And I guess their answer was transforms into legendary Super Saiyan status. Like, his max, whatever his max level is going to be. They've pretty much said that he is 2 levels above Super Saiyan Blue.
Nice.
Ridiculous, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Well, that's why that rage mode is just like so indestructible. They just can't like you can't damage him unless you hit him. It's like they don't feel that pain,
Yeah, we saw how powerful Kale was in the anime on the manga, where she's pretty much eliminated 90% of the competition in the manga.
Yeah, I've seen it in the manga. It's hilarious.
Also, you pointed out something too, Gary. You should quickly mention.
I'm about a certain old guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk about that in a second.
Okay.
2 levels above Super Saiyan Blue in legendary status. So I think hard to think about how Goku and Vegeta and even Frieza combined can go up against that force. Beerus is going to have to get his hands dirty this time, and he's probably going to help them fight. But it is looking more and more likely that another one of Ben's predictions as well, and that we might see Gogeta become canon as well, and they'll have to fuse.
Some good old fusion dance. I've been craving it.
Yeah, because it exists, but apparently only Gotenks knows how to do it. Goten and Trunks.
Just Mac
know the
Daddy.
fusion dance, but only those two want to utilize it.
Yeah.
Levels higher than Super Saiyan Blue is just insane to even think about.
No,
Well, what would Jiren be though? He's
a lot
Is
higher
it
than
over 9,000?
yeah. He embodies the essence of over 9,000 now.
But no, I would actually have loved to seen Jiren team up with them to fight him. That'd have been funny.
Think about it, what's next after Blue is Ultra Instinct, right? So then does that mean Broly is more powerful than Ultra Instinct then?
Maybe.
But, well, I don't
I don't
know because Vegeta didn't go.
What does
Instinct. He went 2
Super
levels
Saiyan
higher
Sparkle mean? Like, what does 2 levels higher mean?
Yeah. Super Saiyan Blue 3. It grows like really long hair.
Apparently it goes Super Saiyan Sparkle, as we've seen with Vegeta, and then somehow Ultra Instinct is like
his Sparkle form, which is what I dubbed it. It's not really a transformation. It's more like his version of Kaioken.
Well, it's more like Super Vegeta. Where he had Super Saiyan 1 and then Super Saiyan 2, but in between that he had that bulky-ish form.
Because he couldn't master Super Saiyan 2, much like Trunks couldn't do it either, neither could Goku. Yeah. Gohan was the only one who mastered it.
So Vegeta had his own form, Super Vegeta, where it was like not the bulky, it was kind of like in between 1 and 2. like a 1.5 sort of thing.
Well, see, and Gohan's kind of evolving at a different level than Vegeta and Goku too.
Yeah,
Because Gohan's kind of got his own like power thing going on with Ultimate Gohan, and as we've seen, it's pretty damn strong. Ultimate Book Nerd, yes.
Gohan.
Yeah, I guess the last thing we should talk about is what's happening in the manga right now. Pretty much all of Dragon Ball has been a lie, and that Master Roshi is just an asshole who would rather watch the world burn than to save it.
Yes.
Because in the manga, right now in the Tournament of Power, Roshi is going one-on-one with Jiren and actually going toe-to-toe with him like it's nothing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Tags.
Like how?
So essentially...
Roshi.
Master Roshi could have defeated the Saiyans when they came.
Yeah.
He could have defeated Frieza and King Cold when they came. He could have beaten the androids with ease. Cell with a snap of a finger. All the booze, please. He would never turn into chocolate. That's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Zamasu and Rose, they should have just taken him with him. He would have found a way to kill an invincible
Roshi Black
god. Seriously. Master Roshi's just been hanging out when he could have saved the world.
Yeah, he dodged one of Jiren's punches, countered, Jiren blocked, then he slid underneath him and bounced away and like dodged a bunch more punches. Like how? You've already established how powerful Jiren is. How the fuck is Master Roshi suddenly this powerful?
Yeah, and then the one of the scenes like Beerus and Whis and Goku are like, the fuck did we just watch? Like, how's this happening? Even Whis is like, what the hell?
Super secret hentai powers.
Yes.
Like Roshi achieved Ultra Instinct before Beerus even knew what it was.
All I know is I really hope that during the next manga that somehow Roshi during his dodging does the Mafuba and captures Jiren.
My God. You know what? Master Roshi's probably going to be the MVP of the manga. Like, it's not going to be Android 17. Roshi's going to be the one that survives.
But yeah, Roshi takes out Jiren.
Man.
The manga just goes completely off the rails compared to what we've seen. Like, what is even happening?
I kind of happen now.
Though we didn't get to see that in the anime, though. That would have been cool to see Roshi go toe-to-toe with Jiren like that.
Yeah. To be honest, Roshi did have some cool stuff in the anime anyway. He did really well. Though, one thing I know this will sound stupid compared to Roshi versus Jiren. The only reason why I don't mind that as much is because Roshi's such a mastered. He is such an old mastered martial artist. The reason why he's dodging is because the fighting style is so basic for him. He's able to predict what Jiren's about to do before he does it.
Mm.
But what pisses me off the most is Gohan and Kefla fight.
What happened there? I didn't see.
They knock each other out.
Oh!
Kefla gets
So Kefla got eliminated by Gohan?
Yeah, Gohan.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah. Really? That's even more unbelievable than Master Roshi fighting Jiren.
So I guess the anime did that one better when she just wrecked Goku's shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a way more interesting fight.
They've also given her a new
way.
form as well, but I haven't seen that because I haven't seen that panel yet. So.
Oh, nice.
Hopefully it's Super Saiyan 3 Kefla. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, Akira Toriyama has been hiding Roshi's true power this entire time.
Yeah. Roshi is just God.
Just wants to see the world burn. He doesn't care. He could have stopped all.
I love it.
But yeah, I couldn't believe that manga. But also, we play a mobile game called Dokkan Battle, and they're about to celebrate their 250 million downloads. There's been some leaked information for the anniversary event. Well, download event, should we say, more than anniversary. The first part should start next week, I heard. Again, this is all leaked information, so the details could be wrong, could be falsified, or could just be delayed. Maybe they'll delay a week or so. Who knows? We don't know until they actually release it. So keep this all with a pinch of salt. The first part will be a Goku and Frieza banner, where you can pull on either a Goku or Frieza. We don't know what other banner units are, but the Goku and Frieza are the first units to be able to transform more than one time into different forms. So that'll be interesting to see.
So each turn that they go, they transform into the next stage. So Frieza starts off in first form.
Yeah.
He's on a second turn, he'll transform into this big, tall one, and then the xenomorph looking one.
Yeah.
So forth up until Golden Frieza.
Yep. We don't know all the details yet. We don't know the super attack animations. We don't know the links properly, and we know the passive, which is amazing. A little bit too much, in my opinion.
Both have very good passives.
Key plus 12. Why?
It's an automatic
Super.
100% critical chance, so you don't even have to put critical into their potential system.
I would recommend putting critical in their potential system, though.
Already 100% critical.
Yeah, but the 100% critical isn't until the final form. So I'd recommend putting a little bit in just so that the previous forms can do it.
That's true.
Focus on. I'm going to focus on additional attacks, but with the occasional critical. Yeah.
As if we pull them.
That's if we pull them.
Chille will pull them.
And the other banner is one I Reddit post shut down because apparently I leaked shit 3 weeks after the episode aired. Because the super fans of Dragon Ball hadn't watched the final episode of Super.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I remember that. Why are you posting spoiler? Like, really?
Yeah.
What kind of fan are you?
Yeah.
But, yeah, we're getting LR, Goku, and Frieza, the team up that they used against Jiren. Nothing is known about this card yet. So we'll see what it's going to be. I'm thinking it's going to be super good.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be broken. All the download anniversary ones have been broken, really. So it's going to be crazy. And we're also getting a new free-to-play LR, which will be the Great Saiyaman 1 and 2, which is a support defensive LR. So it looks pretty decent.
From the Friend Summon. And we're also getting a free Agility Piccolo who fuses with Nail.
Yeah, who's pretty
AoE
broken.
attack. Yeah, and he also is getting his own Extreme Z Awakening as well event.
Yeah, his passive is insanely good.
Piccolo. Yeah, that Piccolo is going to be really good.
Yeah.
Finally.
I know.
Hard after 3 years.
No, we don't know what the transformation requirements are yet, so we'll see.
A good Piccolo card, finally.
I know.
But it's a fusion with Nail. They couldn't have done the fusion with Kami to make this card better.
That'll be the next one, maybe. That'll be LR Piccolo.
Oh man, we already have an LR Piccolo.
We already have a load of LR. We already have an LR Goku, so.
Saying one. I mean, let's face it. We have 2 LRs of Captain Ginyu. 2.
True.
Have 1.
Technically, we have more than one LR Goku because we've got LR Goku Black.
Well, come on, man, really. Doesn't count, man.
But I still want to say congratulations to all 3 of us because we all pulled an LR. So I'm very happy.
LR this week, so
Yeah.
happy days. You guys pulled dupes, I pulled an original.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, though, your original is sexy.
I like my original.
Congratulations.
I wanted a different original, but I'll take this one.
But yeah, so that was some Dokkan Battle news. We'll go to My Hero next. Klauss, do you want to talk about some My Hero?
My hero.
My Hero. My Hero.
This was a good episode. The 100 students that passed the first phase of the exam are now having to go and do rescue mission.
Which is just what Midoriya was looking forward to.
Well, you would think that it would fit his character type the most out of any of the students at UA. Because that's what he really wants to do, is he wants to save everybody. But as we soon see going into this, their inexperience is showing. As first-year students, they have some experience in training with rescue, but they have a long ways to go in comparison to the second and third-year students that are also joining them in this test. I think it's really funny how they what they're using for the rescuees. They actually hired a company. What was the name of that company again?
HUC, something like that. Something volunteer.
Yeah,
rescue.
They're basically professional rescuees.
Yeah.
They're hired out for these types of scenarios. They're professional people to be rescued.
Yeah, I like they even said that too. That little bit of exposition there to say, "Oh, this makes perfect sense. It's in a world that's all full of heroes."
Yeah, a nice fourth wall break there, right?
Yeah, you're like, thanks for the update. But
it was clever.
Yeah.
And they go into this saying that they're going to be scored based on their performance, and things will be deducted accordingly. But no rules were given, so they go out there, and basically the class 1A, they all go together to try and set up see what they can do to help out. They come across this kid. And he's like, my grandpa's trapped underneath. Help me. And then Midoriya goes, oh, crap, this is bad. And automatically the kid looks up and goes, minus points. And everyone's like, and
Midoriya's
long exposition about how you don't do, try and, all of that. You don't say negative things about, what's the situation to a person in need of help. I'm bleeding here. You should be assessing my condition and blah, 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 blah. And it just goes on and on and on. But, I mean, it is beautiful exposition for Class 1A because it basically tells them everything they need to know moving forward. So they're able to then use that information and continue on with... It was hilarious. Like I said,
it was great.
It was probably the kid looked like an old man in some scenes for me.
Well, a lot of them did.
I think they were. A lot of the old men were like actually just old little people. They were playing. The one old dude who was in like the
baby onesie. Oh my god!
Sloppy. That shit was great.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was a beautiful scene because we get is it Shiketsu High?
Yeah.
The guy with the whirlwind trait that everybody's kind of eyeing.
Oh yeah, and
he's using his power to basically whirlwind everything around him, including debris and potential and people who need to be rescued.
Yeah.
But the person is like, wow, this seems so sloppy, but this guy is using his quirk in such a finesseful way to adjust the wind speed for the people who need to be rescued versus the debris to get rid of it, blah, blah, blah. But it's still sloppy!
Yeah, I love when they do the whole, it's sloppy, and then you, like, see the lightning bolt behind him, and his eyes are just blinking. He's like, what? It's so good.
But
it was so good.
That reminded me, we did get a little bit of exposition just before this event all started. Todoroki actually confronted him. And it's like, do you have a problem with me? And basically, it turns out his problem is he had the same eyes as his father, Endeavor.
That was a trigger.
Yep.
So he might not be as bad as we all think. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe he's principled in a way that's similar to the people who don't respect Endeavor, the kind of person that he is, much like Todoroki himself doesn't respect his father. So I think that might be something they can prove, that even though he has he may have his father's eyes. He doesn't have his father's same personality.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see something
his
there.
spirit, so to speak.
Yeah.
But we see a lot of the second and third year students really, coming into their own on that. With this whole rescue thing, they are setting up a triage station. They are setting up like an area for the like a helicopter to land and clearing paths and
That
roads.
power, by
The
the
guy
way.
with the hair,
Yeah.
that hair guy. I mean, he's like, the only thing that sucks about this quirk is his hair tangles so easily.
There was he reminded me of a character in One Piece that's part of Cypher Pole number 9 who has total control over his hair too. But it was really cool to see him in action and actually. I always like seeing characters' quirks, like when they introduce a character and then they kind of show off the quirk a little bit. It's always a nice little.
I like it when it's
nice
a
little
weird
tease.
quirk as well, not just a
Yeah,
kind
like
of-
the meatball guy. That shit was creepy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how that could be useful in this type of situation.
What, the hair?
No, the meatball guy.
Well, if remember, he can, anyone he fondles gets, one second, anyone he fondles gets turned into some, like, meaty balls. So,
Oh my god.
I guess he
Yes.
could fondle the hostage, the people he needs to rescue, and then carry them. I mean, when they're tiny little
Maybe.
balls, they're easier to carry.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's what they're testing is like make sure you're utilize your powers. That's why
And
we
plus,
see some of the UA students start splitting off too.
Yes.
Going
Remember,
where
you
they're being
can-
most useful.
he can also use his body for more stuff as well. So
Yeah.
who
Probably
knows what he'd be able
lifting
to do?
things up.
Yeah. Anyway, getting back onto what actually did happen and not speculating on what could have happened. Another group of UA students ends up finding this. Was it an old man in that one? Basically, he's trapped. It looks like he's trapped underneath some rubble that looks like it's kind of balanced precariously.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Ochako was going to use her quirk to try and float it all away. But fortunately, Momo was able to point out, hey, you shouldn't do that. And creates this stop sign and stops her.
Yeah.
That was just awesome.
Like
Stop, you shouldn't
railroad
do that.
crossing stop
Yeah, and-
bar.
And she's echoing what this other person was thinking. He was like, she's gonna try and get this out of here, but that would be problematic if you do that. But Momo is seeing that, and they're like, they're showing how everything is balanced precariously.
Yeah.
So they use the quirks together. We get Sero using his tape to reinforce things. Momo's creating these girders to try and hold things up. And once they stabilize things, then she uses her quirk to float the other things away slowly, and they work together to free this guy out of there. And he's like, it's a good start, but it's very inefficient.
Yeah.
So they are really, watching what these guys are doing. And then it's at that point where the rest of the UA students realize that, hey, we should be splitting up into smaller groups and trying to help out that way. So they split off and they start trying to find other people. Like Suyu goes to the river with Todoroki, I think.
Yeah, and Todoroki and the Invisible Girl. I can never
Yes.
remember the Invisible Girl's name.
And a couple of them go into the mountain area. And while they're doing all of this, it's at that point where we are shown some people coming into this area. They're all in shadows and dark, and they're basically gonna try and mess things up here a bit. And we're introduced again to everybody's to the third most popular hero that looks like a villain,
And
Gang
the 10th
Orca.
most,
Oh yeah.
and the 10th most powerful superhero overall.
Yeah.
Yes, Gang Orca.
Did you talk about the bit where Bayako?
Oh God, that part too. Yeah, because Byako or Byako. Now look what you did. Bakugo See, I'm mixing all of these things in my head, and it's terrible.
All the animes are just floating around all over in there.
Plus Final Fantasy and all that. Yeah, but Bakugo and it has his followers.
Yeah.
Denki and Kirishima.
Yeah.
They go into a mountain area, and they see these two people with hurt arms. Hey, rescue us! Rescue us! And he goes, rescue yourselves! And then they're like, you don't say that to those guys. And they're thinking in their heads, well, we aren't all that injured. It's probably a good thing that he automatically noticed that we could probably get out of here by ourselves. But you shouldn't have yelled at us, minus points. Good point on that.
Yeah, and then he turns around. What?
I really love that scene. So
it was adorable. This is such a wonderful series. I'm enjoying all the little nuances in these episodes, and it's so much fun. But anyway, Gang Orca comes back, and now at this point they have to try and continue their rescue efforts as well as quell these terrorists from causing more problems on the scene. So that's where the next episode is going to jump into.
Yeah, they're going to see who's going to fight, who's going to keep saving people. You got to learn to fight and protect if enemies are there. This is really what I was getting excited about. Is the they're focusing on the rescue, and they're actually kind of going into detail about it, like what you have to do as a hero, like what's expected of you, what the hero's role is during the rescue. And that's what you remember I mentioned last week that if anybody can make it interesting, it's these guys, and they are again making it interesting because they're talking about what's important for a rescue and what you need to focus on. And yeah, I thought it was overall a really, really good episode, a really really good intro into more of what it means to be a hero in this world.
It's good stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
yeah.
It's good.
It's good.
Do you want to talk about the movie quickly, Klauss?
Oh yes. We also received word earlier this week that there is going to be a release of the movie coming out in September, I believe it is. I'm bringing up the details here. I was wondering if you guys wanted to talk about that or not. But Funimation is going to be doing a limited release. Okay, where is it? Where are you hiding at? I just have the video here. I don't think we necessarily want to play that.
Cliff Notes?
That's what I'm looking for right now. My Hero Academia 2 Heroes is the name of the movie. And it will be coming out September 25th through October 2nd. Tickets go on sale on the 24th of this month. So at that point, you'll be able to see what theaters have it near you. There's going to be subtitled and dubbed versions. So you can see whichever one you prefer. I believe the subtitle is going to be the first bit of it, and then the dubs are going to be later. That's usually how Funimation usually likes to do these types of releases. I'm trying to find. So basically, Deku and All Might receive an invitation to iExpo, the world's leading exhibition of quirk abilities and hero item innovations. Amid the excitement, sponsors and pros from all over, Deku meets Melissa, a girl who is quirkless just like he once was. Suddenly, iExpo's top-of-the-line security system gets hacked by villains, and a sinister plan is set in motion. It's a serious threat to hero society, and one man holds the key to it all, the symbol of peace, All Might.
Way.
Prequel? Or where does this take place in the story?
It's before he loses his power, but after he passes it on to Deku.
It's just after, from what I can tell, it's just after the tournament. The tournament they did.
I think it's
around.
school.
Yeah, I think it's around the time the summer event starts.
So between the sports festival and training.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
We'll throw it in there.
Also, there is a one-off manga that was announced recently as well. I can't find the name of the one-off manga. basically expands a flashback sequence that's in this movie. The manga will pick up with the All Might's mentor Nana Shimiru, sorry for butchering it, in her final battle of All for One. Basically, it shows All Might come into like his own when he first becomes All Might.
Nice.
So,
this is what I've been wanting to see.
Yeah.
Or at least part of it. So yeah.
I really want to see how All Might became the person he is. Based on that one flashback that we got which was basically a mirror image of him and Midoriya.
Yeah.
It was so sweet.
Right?
But we should mention too, next week is actually not more of the fight with Gang Orca. They're pulling a Bleach.
That's right.
And all of a sudden, all of these students are back in class, and so we'll have to wait, I don't know how long for the filler to... I think it's just a week episode filler.
Hopefully.
But they're usually good, and it's more cute classroom antics with All Might, so I'm looking forward to it. What the hell?
Special episode, Save the World with Love!
Yes!
Oh, it's gonna be a good
that
episode.
title. Yes.
Can that title be any worse than the ones that we've gotten with the Boruto series that just ended? How's that for a segue, huh?
Segues right there. That's some fancy segues.
That is some sexy segue.
I'll be honest, it wasn't until last night where I was talking with Klauss at the end of Phoenix Down Radio that I even knew there was a new episode of Boruto out. Because I just looked at the thing and they've all got the same sort of title name. Yeah, Super Chocho Butterfly Mode, Super Chocho Kiss Mode, and Super Chocho Love Upheaval.
Love
Upheaval.
I like it. I'm really on the.
Come on, those are the worst episodes ever. I mean, Chocho's. You're on the Chocho Choo Choo.
Yes.
See, Chocho is best girl, but this was not a good episode.
This did not showcase her very well.
No.
The last episode, it brought her back to where she was.
Yeah, that's the problem. It felt like at the start of this episode, she went back to losing the progress that she made in the last episode.
Yep.
Basically, it starts with her pretty much kissing the guy's ass all over again and pretty much ignoring her duties.
Well as she was basically indebted to, what's her name?
Ashina.
Yeah, Ashina. Yeah, because she had tried to fix the dress and bring that up to her. And he's like, you expect me to wear this? And she goes, oh, no, I guess not. And then during some downtime, she's looking really angry, and she scans over all of the ninjas and looks right at Chocho and says, you, get me some water.
Yeah.
And so she's like, oh, yes, ma'am. And so she goes to get water, and it's at that point, as soon as Chocho's gone...
The gas mask guy attacks.
Yes.
Yep. And then they scare him off, and then they have a little chase sequence where they try and go after him after the little fight, which...
Well, because he actually grabs Tomura.
Yeah.
And is running off with him, and they're trying to kidnap him.
Yeah. And they got away with him. And it was like... Yeah, I was really shocked that he was... I don't know. Anyway, eventually they work out that they have to... They basically got their ransom where they wanted to sort of trade. And they wanted to... Yeah, she was had to go to do the trade. It was money, wasn't it?
Yeah, 20 million Ryu,
Yeah.
which is like, what, 20 million bucks, something like that.
Yeah. Anyway,
she had to be the one to deliver it.
Yeah, she had to be the one to deliver it. So they make a plan on how to cover her while they do delivery to make sure everything goes smoothly. Even though I would have thought... I was sat there thinking, why don't they just attack? He's one ninja. There's loads of them.
Right.
Why are they just stood there? Come on, he's one ninja. I'm sure they could stop him before... I mean, they've got Shikamaru's son. He can literally use shadow paralysis to stop him from attacking the hostage before he could do anything.
But we learn why they did this.
Yeah, they learned this because it was all a trap all along. to find out the fact that they're working together because they'd already caught him. He's such a bad ninja.
They already caught him. They had already saved Tomura.
Yeah.
And they discovered that it was Ashina all along who was trying to cause all the issues here because she was being forced off of the set.
Yeah. She wanted to
by
become more of a
Tomura.
star.
Yes.
Yeah.
This sounds an awful lot like pretty much, I think at least one episode in every other Family Guy series and Futurama and Simpsons. There's always an episode with the jealous star that's behind it all. Fuck, I think there was a Scooby-Doo that did it too. And it was like, oh, it's the agent for the actor or some shit like that.
And I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
Yeah,
You
that's pretty much exactly
meddling
what
ninjas
this
and your
was.
toads.
But we didn't get to talk about the best part of the episode.
Oh yeah, the only good thing about the entire episode, and that's
Yes.
Mitsuki, best boy.
While they were waiting for this exchange to happen, Mitsuki brings up to Chocho, because they're trying to get her to eat some potato chips again and kind of calm down and kind of get back to herself, but she wasn't having it.
Yeah.
So
I'd have eaten those
Mitsuki comes
potato
up.
chips.
Well, we know that. You love your crisps.
I do.
So basically, he's asking her, he's saying it doesn't really matter what flavor you go for, whether it's consomme or lightly salted. It's not the flavor that matters. It's the quality of the potatoes.
Yeah.
It's the soul. That's the essence of the potato chip.
Yeah.
You can have the greatest flavor, but if it goes onto a rotten potato, it's going to be a terrible chip. So
Yeah. You don't want a soggy
Chocho.
potato.
Chocho, what's your soul? Are you a fresh, delicious potato, or are you a rotten potato? That's basically what it was.
Yeah.
And it worked. And then what she was going to try and blow everybody up with these paper bombs,
Yeah.
and they get them out of her hands, but they still end up going off.
Yeah.
And this cliff that they're on is breaking apart, and Tomura is about to get crushed by this giant rock. And it's at that moment that Chocho realizes what her soul really is. She is the freshest of potatoes, only the best potato chip. She breaks her jutsu, goes back to full power, and uses her partial expansion to punch through the bowl that's falling down and
wasn't that the
saving
spot
Tomura.
where he realized, oh, you're the same person?
Yes.
Yep.
And then at the end, we get to see Tomura basically groveling with
Yeah.
Chocho. It's like, trying to get her to go out with him, and she's like, no,
I don't want to be tied no calories or men.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't need no men or calories.
I was expecting her to be, because she's like, I only offer potato chips to people that I like, and I thought she was totally gonna pull it away from him as he goes to grab it, but no, she's classier than that.
Yeah.
She was very very humble about the whole thing, and very good old Chocho and adorable as ever.
And then she gives a bag to Mitsuki.
Yeah. A whole bag.
The second best part of the episode happens as soon as he gets home. Mitsuki's eating a potato chip.
Yeah.
And Orochimaru says to him, I didn't think that you would, get down with eating food, because apparently he doesn't need to eat.
Yeah. Which is a bit weird.
Mitsuki tells him a little bit about what he's been talking with Chocho about, and then he offers Orochimaru a potato chip. We get to see Orochimaru eat a potato chip. It's amazing. Not
He's
really,
like, it
but
tastes kind of good.
yeah.
Yeah. Which it was a bit weird, because he's like, these are quite nice, and then he's like, Mitsuki's like, it's not to my taste.
But they're not my flavor.
Yeah.
So is he unshipping himself from Chocho now?
I don't know.
Maybe she'll just get all the potato chips and he'll get, I don't know.
Well, he doesn't need to eat, so
Yeah.
for some reason.
But he knows what a fresh potato chip is.
Yeah, he knows what a fresh potato chip. It's a Chocho.
Chocho is the freshest.
Oh.
The fresh maker. Anyway, I'm most the thing that excited me the most about it, though, is the next little filler arc we get.
Yeah.
It's going to be Metal Lee.
Ah, yes.
And basically, at this
Rock Lee?
point...
Metal
Metal
Rock
Lee. Well, we'll get to see Rock Lee in there, but Metal Lee is going to be... They're going to be dealing with Metal Lee's anxiety.
Yep. And supposedly he's going to learn about the
gates.
the gates.
So if done right, this could be a really, really good filler arc.
Yeah. I'm going to go with no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Rock Lee, but he had some of the worst episodes.
He also had that entirely amazing series.
Yeah, that series was the best part, though. Yeah. Rock Lee SD, wasn't it? Naruto SD.
Naruto SD, Rock Lee and his friends.
Yeah.
That's the one that Gary watched and really liked.
Adorable.
Yes, it was the best.
I need to check it out.
And in every episode, you see Yamato peeking over their shoulder somewhere. So it was amazing.
I've only seen a few episodes, but I'm going to have to watch the whole thing sometime.
It's only 32.
Yeah.
It's not that many episodes, so I definitely recommend it. If you've only seen a few, just watch them all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hoping that, like I said, if the story is well written, and they have the potential to do it. Their writers, they do have some good writers on staff.
Yes.
They just need to make sure that they get the story cohesive and give it enough exposition to do it right. This one was rushed and mostly poor. They wrapped it up very conveniently at the end, but like I said, overall, I wasn't a fan of this little 3-episode arc.
Nice.
Yeah.
Also, one thing that I always wondered, I mean, why did they... There's been no explanation as to why Boruto was reinstated.
Because he did really well against the people. There we go.
You know what I mean, though. You'd think he should have gotten some sort of more punishment than just to say you're sorry and then now you get to go watch movie stars.
I guess, but...
I mean, especially if it's the Hokage's son, you got to make sure that you're, holding him up to a higher standard.
No.
Not having seen the entire show, is Boruto as I don't know, I guess carefree as Naruto was at that age?
I'd say more rebellious than carefree. He's a very smart person, but
they're slightly different. They're both very smart. They're both very powerful. Naruto was pretty smart. He just wasn't book smart. He was more street smart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he was also very lucky. I think Boruto is a bit more carefree just because of the era they're living in right now.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very different time in the ninja world than it was for Naruto at that age.
Yeah.
I will say though that if Naruto was in these circumstances, I think that he would be pretty much the same as Boruto is. If they'd both had the same circumstances, if Naruto was in this time period, and hell, I think the fourth Hokage wouldn't exactly be the most strictest of fathers. He doesn't seem like he would be.
But his mom
would be.
Kirishina? Yeah, she would be super strict.
Yeah.
Well, probably even more strict than Hinata.
Yeah. Well, Hinata's, I don't know. We've seen the fact that they're scared of her, so.
Well, for good reason. You don't want those 64 palms.
No. That's one fisting you don't want.
I don't know. Naruto seemed to like it. He married it.
Chris will disagree with you.
Yeah, hell yeah. If Hinata wanted to give me 6, Hinata could give me 128 palms. Whatever you need to do.
That's only for special occasions.
Yeah. Well, I'm like when I win a bet.
I'll be honest. I was surprised they didn't put. Surprised they didn't put Neji's name in his name just for, like a homage to Neji. Boruto Neji Uzumaki.
Well, does he have a middle name?
I don't know. Don't think so.
Do they have middle names?
No idea, but he's the Hokage. He can do anything he wants. Neji Uzumaki. There we go. It's better than Boruto. I'm sorry, that's just still a stupid name.
Yeah, I agree, but it makes more sense in the anime, though, realistically. Otherwise, it would be really weird to have a new series called Neji Uzumaki. They'd be like, "What is this about the Byakugan?"
Well, it seems to be.
What's going on? Well, we haven't really figured out what's happening with that yet.
Hey, also I'm surprised he didn't name his kid after the ramen shop either. Is there enough? I hope there's a flashback episode when they see Boruto gets born.
No, they should have named him Menma.
Yeah.
Like in the flashbacks or the alternate reality ones.
Yeah, I wonder if just a filler episode where Boruto's got born and Naruto's they're trying to think up names and Naruto just going, Ichi, the Ichiraku, and then the name of the shop owner, and then the girl that owns it.
and then Menma comes up.
Yeah.
And then Chashu. And then Tonkatsu, and I don't know.
That poor kid.
But anyway, it was a good episode.
It was, of the 3 episodes, yes, it was the best of the 3, but like I said, I wouldn't call it a good episode.
It was only good to me because of Mitsuki. That was the best part.
It had moments.
Yeah. And the end bit with Orochimaru, I like that bit. Because I just find it weird that Orochimaru's just become a kind of good guy, but not really.
He's just a guy.
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing that they talk about. He's like, in regards to being your father or your mother, Mitsuki goes, it doesn't matter, as long as I know what the essence is.
I wish we were he's both, isn't he?
Well, he's like we talked about before. He's kind of gender fluid.
Yeah.
Because he's inhabited male bodies. He's inhabited female bodies. Yeah. He's very asexual.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want, Naruto is at least ahead of that in some ways. It does have a gender fluid character. Literally.
Oh, dude! One Piece did gender fluid characters before. I'm being all hipster about it. Yeah, I remember.
One Piece did it way before anybody. Come on.
They did. They really did. Like 10, 12 years ago. I think even longer. It was during the... first we got introduced to Mr. 2, Bon Clay.
I still want to say Naruto did it first.
No, I actually Ghost in the Shell did it first.
True, yeah, if you want to get technical. Yeah.
Yeah. But out of One Piece and Naruto, I'm going to guess Naruto did it first because Orochimaru was right at the start. It was like the 3rd arc. Because remember, he was female in the forest. And then he was male in the attack, which was like a few days later. That was like the third.
Honestly, you've got me curious as to who did it first, but I'm too lazy to Google it right now, so...
Yeah, we'll find out for next week's episode.
Later. There you go.
Or email us and contact us and Pod Unchained. We'd love to know who you think's the first gender neutral. Is it One Piece or Naruto?
Who did it first? Simpsons did it.
I think this is the first time that Simpsons didn't do it first.
Probably.
Yeah.
All right, shall we move on then?
Yeah, we should move on to Attack on Titans.
Can I briefly interject really quick? Just because it was a big, kind of a big deal. A very popular voice actor that even if you didn't know him, I know everyone know and loved his work. Unsho Ishizuka passed away last, I believe, Friday morning.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So we want to be. I think I speak for all of us at the problematic sticker here. Our condolences to a great guy. Let's see, he voiced Heihachi in Tekken Tag Tournament 2 and Tekken 7, Tetsuo Tamashiro in Yakuza 3, and Hoji Ujuyasu in Samurai Warriors, and it was, very famously, Professor Oak in Pokemon, Jet Black in Cowboy Bebop, and Von Hohenheim in Full Metal Alchemist. Japanese voice. The Japanese.
He was also Hercule.
Yeah, he was
well,
also Mr. Satan.
Yes, Mr. Satan.
Earth's heroes finally passed. Oh.
Yeah, so there you are. We're another great has left us.
It's a shame because that's both Bulma
Dragon Ball's just knocking him down, aren't they?
Yeah.
First, Bulma's voice actress passes away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Passes away.
Master Roshi, watch yourself.
Seriously.
No,
Somebody
then
protect him!
I think he did. I actually think the voice actor for Roshi did pass away at some point during the Dragon Ball. Am I right? Is it Roshi or somebody else? There was somebody else I thought that passed away too. During the
the dubbed actor that does Frieza's voice can't do the voice no more due to medical reasons.
Yep, he's another one.
Yeah.
Afraid for Toriyama now over there, over 70 years old, drawing Dragon Ball still.
Well, I don't think he really draws it, does he? He just does like a few panels.
Still art, man.
Yeah.
Gets the basic storyboards going.
Yeah.
If I could draw like Akira Toriyama, I'd be so.
Times, man, sad times.
But seriously, he was a great voice actor, and he'll be missed by everyone.
67 too. 67. I guess esophageal cancer is way too young.
He's gone to train with King Kai.
There you go.
We love you, man. Thank you. Thank you for all the entertainment you've brought us over the years. Yeah. Especially with
And
the
now for
Tekken.
something completely different.
And now for Titans.
Something completely Titan.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. So the new season, while we were doing some of our own coverages, currently getting the legs for the podcast up and running, the third season of Attack on Titan has resumed, and we are already 5 episodes in. So I thought today we would want to take a brief look back at the previous 2 seasons, and then what did you guys want to do? Did you want to cover the first? You said the first episode of the dubbed version of Attack on Titan season 3 just aired today, but they're 5 in on the Japanese.
Yeah, Gary hasn't had a chance to watch that yet.
Okay, so just a recap of the first 2 seasons briefly, and then we'll jump into episode 1 and 2 next week.
If 2 is available early enough for you guys to watch, because they come out pretty close to when you guys start the first podcast.
Yes, they do. Yeah. All right, we'll see. Either episode 1 or episode 1 and 2.
But yeah, if we can do a TLDR on the Attack on Titan, and then talk a little bit about season 2, maybe a little bit more in depth, because that's where things really get interesting.
Yeah. I can quickly TLD season 1. Basically, in this universe, 100 years before the beginning of this story, giant humanoid-looking creatures called Titans suddenly appeared and wiped out all of humanity, and they basically come up and they eat people, and they range in size from maybe the size of a bear or larger standing on its hind legs to the size of skyscrapers.
Yeah, from like meter and a half to like 30 meters or more.
Mm-hmm. So the bigger ones can swallow you in one bite, and then you suffer and digest in their stomach acid, or you can be basically like eaten and bit to pieces by the smaller Titans. So, either way, it sucks. They can't be killed with traditional means. They don't have any genitals. They just run around all naked and creepy looking. They're like firmly set in that good old uncanny valley, which it's just creepy to watch these things run around and eat people. So mankind has been backed into a corner behind these three walls: Wall Rose, Wall Maria, and Wall Fat Albert. And this is humanity's last bastion. Apparently, from what we're told, Titans are out roaming the rest of the Earth, and these are where the last humans are located. And it's got this medieval setting with gunpowder and advanced technology, because the only way that they've developed to fight these Titans is this 3D maneuver system, which launches hooks into walls, kind of Spider-Man style, and they can fly around the Titan, and they have special blades designed in these air pneumatic pressure change systems.
Very
That are
steampunk.
actually, yes, very steampunk. And they have to basically fly around the back of the Titan's neck and slice through the nape of their neck to disconnect their spinal cord from their body in order to kill them. If you cut off an arm or a leg, it regenerates very quickly through a lot of steam. For some reason, they emit immense amounts of heat when they're regenerating. So yeah, real nightmare for the human race. The only way that we've developed to fight them and effectively neutralize them. And one day, a variant Titan, at first it seems to be a variant Titan. You have some Titans, normally they just kind of shamble around like big zombies. But you have some that like run after you, can leap around, do all sorts of crazy things. And apparently a colossal Titan appears outside of the outermost wall where a town is located. And I forget the name of the main character's town. But it's where the main character, Eren Yeager, is located. Giant colossal Titan appears outside the wall, standing over, looking at all the people. They're all shocked. Kicks down the wall and lets all of these Titans in. All of a sudden, 100 years of safety in mankind is shattered as Titans come in and start devouring everybody. Our main character, Eren Yeager, is a young kid at this point, sees his mother get devoured, swears revenge on the Titan. Years later, he joins this group of the what do you want to call them? The humanities, humanities last. Well, overall, I forget the name of the army but the scouts are part of this regiment that he joins, that they're specifically trained to go out on these recon missions, and they have like a high mortality rate. They're supposed to be the best of the best, but they always end up getting killed. We learn more about the Titans. We learn that Eren is, spoiler here, Eren, it turns out, is a Titan somehow. He has these Titan powers. Years later, the colossal Titan appears, kicks down in the next wall, an armored Titan. The armored Titan that broke down. No, he appeared and broke down the first gate all those years ago. Was when that armored Titan appeared, right?
Yes.
And then did he reappear again during the second attack? I can't remember. I know the colossal Titan appeared, kicked down the next wall gate, and now Eren is.
No, the armored Titan didn't come back for some time.
That's right. Okay,
but
thank
we
you.
we had this mysterious Titan show up, and I believe it was the female Titan.
Yes. Later on the scouting mission, later on when they go out, the female Titan appears. And this is after, I think, they restored the Trost District security, and after Eren discovered, Eren's a Titan and all that. And they go out on a mission because they think that I can't remember what they're doing. They set up the cool radar system, with the flares, and then the female Titan appears, and there's a big, brawl, and because apparently she wants Eren for some reason, and basically we discover that this female Titan has been, like Eren, another human that can turn into a Titan, and was actually a spy all along, Annie, the blonde one.
The best character in the whole show.
Yeah, yep. She turns out to be the spy, the female Titan, and big battle. Eren fights fights her in the streets, and in Titan mode, both of them going at it, and then they eventually
Titan
have
on
her
Titan
cornered.
violence.
Titan on Titan violence. Yes. They have her cornered, and she crystallizes herself in impenetrable crystal. And that's pretty much the first season. More questions than answers, like Attack on Titan likes to do, as we've have come to learn. It's all conspiracy theory and/or conspiracy theory, and nobody knows what the hell
I think
is going
the
on.
biggest thing that they forgot, or you probably forgot to mention, was the fact that to the origin of the Titans, it was located in his house, in his basement.
It's well, they don't know what it is, but it's only because he knows that his father told him that it's in the basement, and he gave him the key, or he sent him the key to it, or something like that. It's been a while since I've seen it, but
the problem is they literally
yeah.
haven't brought up that entire sequence of events of him.
No.
Which is infuriating to me.
Yeah, dude, they mention it.
It's like they just forgot about it.
Yeah, there's so much other stuff going on that I don't know when they're going to get back to it. I doubt they're going to get back to it by the end of season 3, the way things are looking. We'll get to that. But yeah, it's and then it became into something else, and now as we get into season 2, now we see why they haven't even gotten back to that at all, because. And I can't even remember what happens at the beginning of season 2. I only remember how it ended, honestly.
Beginning of season 2, there's a big break in one of the walls.
That's
and
right.
There's a giant Titan face in there. So they're all like, what the hell's going on? Why is there a Titan in the walls? And then the Pastor Nick comes out and he's all like, you guys need to cover that up and make sure it doesn't get sunlight hit it and yada, yada, yada. Because Titans can't, do much at night. They basically are forced to sleep or not do anything. They can move around freely during the day, though.
Titans are plants. They're solar powered. If it's nighttime, they go sleepy.
But apparently we discover that all of these walls that are surrounding these cities, Wall Maria, Wall Rose, and then Wall, I forget the last name, and it's mentioned so many
Fat
times.
Albert. I can't remember that.
Well, hey.
Like 30 characters to know. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. They all have Titans in them, and nobody knows why. But what they discover then is these walls are not made of stone like the gates. That's where the Titans broke through. They broke through the gates. Nobody ever broke through the actual walls themselves. And now we're wondering, they know that these walls are made of Titans. So they're not, going through them to hurt their brothers. They're all these other people. So
Yes.
They're trying now. The scout squad is trying to figure out what exactly is going on here, and then we hear that there has been a breach in Wall Rose, and Titans have attacked a village and are coming upon the location of Aaron and his squad. They've basically been told to go stay out in this camp area. And then we see all these Titans coming up on them, and then we get this really interesting fight scene. And we lose a few people during that particular exchange, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they go right into the
new
action.
characters. Yeah.
I mean,
one of the long-standing characters. I forget her name. She was one of the long. Made it. She basically lived through season 1, and then not through season 2 though.
yeah, but I mean, there's so much that happens in this. It like I said, it was hard for me to try and keep up with it.
There's a beast titan appears, and we're like, what the hell thing? But he can talk.
Season 2 is a little fresh in my mind because I binged it.
Yes, awesome.
So one of their more commander generals, I think you just talked about her. You find out that she was also a Titan.
Oh, Ymir?
Yes, but she, in a way, kind of has this kind of memory block to her. And it's almost like she didn't know she was a Titan, but she also did. It was a very confusing moment.
Yep. And then it's like...
She could read the language on those boxes. And Reiner was like, wait, you read those the labels? Because it's like a lost language that only Titans can understand, or some weird shit like that. It got kind of into like it almost just teased us with the history of this world, because there's apparently, we only know what we've been shown in the series, we only know what has happened, what we've seen through our own eyes. Everything that they tell us, I think, you have to just like throw out and assume it's a lie. Because we have because what happened, what they told us, or they kind of said has happened, is not what's really happened, because we're getting glimpses into this whole thing about sacrifice, deals with devils, or something like that. Like,
it's all
Titans coming from
confusing.
this kingdom. Yeah, and it gets really weird because a lot of, some of them don't know how. We still don't know where the Titans come from, but now we're getting a little.
We're getting a little bit more of an idea where they're coming from, because we learn, like I said, Ymir is a Titan, and then we also learn that there's a village in the south that one of these recruits is from, Connie, and that village was destroyed. All the buildings were just in shambles, but there was no blood. There was no sign of like people dead there. The only thing that was there was a malformed Titan in Connie's house.
You're kind of jumping ahead a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, we're gonna be covering quite a few episodes here, so
yeah, it's okay if we jump around a little bit. But yeah, the town that was attacked was Connie's hometown.
Because that's the direction that all these Titans came from. Because they had assumed that the wall was breached, so they're all on their way to try and figure out what exactly happened and see if they can find the breach, so they can get enough people out there to repair the hole and keep more Titans from getting in. They don't find a hole. They search the wall from east to west, and there is no hole.
I hate it when I can't find the hole.
Yeah. Well, they were kind of groping around in the dark, but.
Yeah, true. And then when you're going day and night at it, and you're for a hole and you can't find it, you get kind of tired. So it might be easy to miss. But
no, done. You're finished.
So they decide that
There's everywhere.
They decide to camp for the night, and they end up finding the ruins of this this castle, and that's where we have this scene that Chris was talking about, where Ymir was rummaging through these cans and found this can of sardines in that ancient language, and that's where we learned that Ymir was a Titan, and we also discovered that some Titans can be moving around at night, because their castle that they're staying at gets attacked by a large number.
And see, that's the thing that's a little. At this point, we also encounter what we now assume is the big leader of the Titans.
Yeah, the Beast Titan again.
Mm-hmm.
The big, hairy, monkey-looking one. His identity is.
We don't know who he is, but he can speak. He can talk with them.
Yes.
Clear as day. They're able to move when he's around at night.
Maybe it's something to do.
At least that's.
Maybe.
Okay, go ahead, Ben. You were gonna say.
I haven't watched it, but it sounds like maybe he's got some sort of weird special power.
Which that makes sense, because we'll get to some of that here in a little bit.
Yes.
I didn't even think of it that way. So.
Yeah, so they were completely attacked, and they were able to escape the situation.
Only because they had reinforcements come help. They were almost overrun. But Ymir was jumping down to basically she had pulled the tower down and had saved everybody who was still in the tower, but they started coming back up out of the rubble, and they were about to get eaten when Hanshi and her squadron join up with them, as well as Captain Levi.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And they're all saved at that point. And that's when they fill him in as to what's been going on, and basically all hell is breaking loose, and they go check the wall. At this point, they go on top of Wall Maria, and at this point, we learn something even more troubling. Two of the people that were in this squad with Eren and Ymir and Krista and Connie and all those guys It was Reinhard and who? What was the other guy's name?
Bertold.
Bertolt.
Mm-hmm.
They reveal to Eren they are the Armored Titan and Colossal Titan.
It's so funny how they do it too.
Yeah, it's just so nonchalantly. Hey, Eren, before you go, we're the guys who ate your mother and caused all this ruckus 5 years ago. We want you to come join us. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So
you guys are kidding, right?
And then they have this
nonchalantly and randomly that you're just not expecting it at all.
Well, because they were gonna be leaving at that point, I think is what they were trying to emphasize.
Yeah,
they were gonna go over the other side of the wall.
They had decided that it was time for them to fulfill their mission. What that mission is, they don't tell you immediately, but it really is just kind of such a nonchalant reveal that you're just kind of left. Wait, what? And they're talking about, oh yeah, we've got a mission that we're going to fulfill. I think it's time to do it the way things are going. So let's get this going. And then they just kind of, hey Eren, he's the Colossal Titan, I'm the Armored Titan, and we want you to join us because. And then what happens? They don't reveal really why. It's just kind of they take Eren, don't they? You guys who binged it more recently than I have.
Eren pretty much loses his shit, and they go into fight mode.
Yeah,
goes down the wall and starts fighting the Iron Titan.
Yeah, the armored one. The armored
Titan. The Colossal Titan is holding back the entire team because he's got this weird ability where his steam just burns everybody, so they can't even come near him to cut off his neck weakness.
Yeah, the Colossal Titan is so huge that he just produces so much heat that you can't... like normal Titans, they can get close to when it's hot, but the Colossal one that they can't even touch. Like, they just can't even get near him.
And the thing about the Colossal one, he also doesn't have legs, so he can't walk.
He can't fully form.
He does have legs, but where he transformed, I think he didn't have enough room, so he kind of like merged into the wall. It was really weird because it's only his upper half.
His rib cage was kind of gripping the top of the wall.
Yeah, so he merged into the half of the wall. He has a lower body because we saw that before when he transformed outside the wall.
So you're saying this is the Attack on Titan is just the origin story of Demon Wall?
I love it. I love it.
So Eren is fighting the Iron Titan, and he's losing the fight until he
remembers a fight that he had with Annie.
Mm-hmm. And it's
where she taught him at this grapple move, which he then uses on him, and as he's essentially choking him to death, also Titan realizes that he needs to help him before he pretty much takes out. He's breaking his neck. I remember because his neck, where the weakness is, starts to shatter.
Yeah.
He's breaking it, so reveal that they're going to be able to kill him if that whole thing breaks.
Yeah, and Reiner screams, and then Bertolt hears Reiner scream and falls
and he
off
just
the wall.
falls off the wall right on top of them, essentially just wrecking completely.
Yep, and then they escape. Bertolt switches back to his human mode. The Reiner runs off as the Titan, and they have
Eren, and they have what's her name?
Ymir.
Yeah, who also lost the leg during the fight.
And an arm.
Then armless. One arm and one leg was gone.
Correct.
Yes, that's because Bertold ate Eren.
To get him out of there.
To get him out, so he has no arms or legs right now. So
he has legs, just no arms.
Oh, right, yeah.
So they're running on the other side of Wall Maria, trying to get back to their village, and the scouts are waiting for these lifts to arrive so they can go down and chase after them.
Yeah, so they're waiting for lifts so they can get the horses over the wall, so they can chase them. Get Eren back, because Eren is essentially their secret weapon against the Titans.
Mm-hmm. And it's revealed why here in a second.
Yeah, but we also learned that Ymir was the Titan that ate Bertold and Reiner's friend. So, and that's how she came back from being a Titan. because apparently this friend from the same village that they're all from was also a Titan.
Mm-hmm. We actually, you don't really learn why until here in season 3, but yes,
jumping the gun maybe a little bit there, but
we did kind of see that she was a Titan, ate their friend, and then came to be kind of human with the Titan abilities.
Yes,
and even she doesn't know. She just remembers being a Titan and kind of roaming the landscape, just aimlessly, So yeah.
So they finally get the horses. They start chasing after them. And at this point, they're in this big, massive, dense forest, and they're kind of trying to get their energy back and healing themselves from the fight. And Titans who want to eat all of them. So they can't really move. They can't really go anywhere. And I think here we learned some very valuable information. That who's the Iron Titan again?
Reiner.
Reiner is suffering from a split personality, where he role that he actually believes that he's there to help fight the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he had to compartmentalize
losing it.
all of these things in order to stay sane while he was in the Scouts. Versus what he had done as the armored Titan. And they basically snap him out of it, and then he
literally believes that he's helping them, when in reality he's actually a Titan that caused all this shit to happen.
Yep, and he even asks, he breaks down because he looks at Eren, and he's like, "Hey," starts talking to him like they're friends, and Eren's like, "What the? Are you kidding me? After everything, what?" And then it's kind of, I think Bertold says something to him. He's like, oh yeah, that's why we're here. Well, I'm not a. He says something like, "I'm not a soldier, I'm a warrior," or something like that.
Yep.
Something Titan specific. Like, he's not comparing himself to humans. He has to compare himself to Titans. He's got a mission to fulfill. So he snaps out of it. But yeah, he's definitely starts to lose it, and that leads to kind of the next chain of events here, because they're hiding out in the trees, waiting for them to heal, Ymir and Eren to heal, because they don't have the strength to carry them fully on the whole way.
Essentially waiting for nightfall so the Titans can pretty much go to sleep and they can get past them.
Yeah.
Because they're completely surrounded by the Titans. Yep.
But at this point, that's when they see the smoke signals coming from the
There was one other bit of information that came out during the time they're sitting there talking, is that she mentions Ape Titan, and they don't know who that is. They were completely surprised about this.
Yes.
She just mentions. So here's we believing that all these Titans, are on the same team, and these are the more intelligent ones, and then you have the pretty much savage dogs.
Ones. Yeah.
Yeah. And then here's them. They had no idea who this Titan was. They were like, "What are you talking about?" Like, they've never encountered this Titan before. I thought that was very interesting, because I was under the assumption that, again, this Monkey Titan was another spy that they had in the ranks, and these guys don't know about it.
They're on all separate teams to find out. So now we're like, who the hell is the Beast Titan then?
Is there a Titan war happening that we don't know about? Is this guy leading Titans, and these Titans are trying to stop these other Titans? That's why they need Eren and what's her name again?
Ymir.
Yeah, Ymir. We don't know. This show just throws more questions and zero answers to all.
But they also need one other person.
Yep. Krista.
They need the royal bloodline, and for some reason, Krista is not Krista. She is actually Historia Rice.
Mm-hmm.
Which we learn a little bit more about that in season 3. But
yes.
She is also in the vanguard with the scouts that are pursuing Bertold and Reiner, trying to get Eren and Ymir back. And like I said, they're coming up on them, and it forces the group to leave the trees early and they get all these Titans following them, as well as they get a few of them that go after the scouts. So this real big battle ensues, and Eren is trying to go back Titan mode again, but he still can't because he's regenerating.
Mm-hmm.
He finally basically goes apeshit after a while, and he does go Titan mode.
Yeah.
Or no, he doesn't.
He doesn't go Titan mode.
He doesn't. He can't. But
he can't still, but he sees someone.
Yeah, what ends up happening is he sees somebody about to get eaten by one of the Titans, and he just goes crazy and he screams.
But he sees the Titan that...
You see the Titan that ate his mom. It's the Titan that ate his mom.
Right.
They call him Joker, I think. That's the name they have for him. Because he's always got that big-ass smiley face on. And yet he sees that exact same Titan, the one that ate his mom.
smiling Titan.
Mm-hmm. And then, he goes apeshit, he screams, and then all the Titans...
that were going after the scouts, or that were going after Reiner and Bertold, they go after the smiling Titan. And they destroy him.
Yep, Eren controlled them all with one scream. And suddenly we discover why they've been calling... Bertold and Reiner have been calling Eren the... what are they? It's a C word. Not that word. The conduit, the controller, the channeler. They called him something multiple times, and we see why. Because apparently Eren has the ability to control Titans. He's Pikmin, essentially.
And then he sends all the Titans after Reiner, and as they're trying to escape, and it ends really crazy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then
before that we also
scene. Yeah, go ahead, Gary.
Before that we also got again, I forgot her name.
Ymir.
Ymir. The entire time they're trying to convince her to join them, and eventually she gives in because but only
she
if they
save Historia. She sacrifices herself to save to stop them chasing after Historia.
Oh, it's big. Is that girl's name? Oh,
yeah,
Krista.
Yeah, the blonde Krista. Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it's a kind of a ugly TLDR we're giving here. But like I said, there's so much happening in those episodes that it's really hard to fully understand until you watch it yourself. And like I say, watch it again, and then watch it again, and then you might get most of it.
Yeah. And at the very end, at the very, very end of season 2, the last thing we see is Ymir, Reiner, and Bertold are having a little bit of a conversation. I can't remember what it's about. I don't know if you guys do or want to expound upon it.
I don't recall it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but then the last scene we see is basically this long... I love the camera shot. It's one of those long zooms from a distance that goes in really fast, and we see the Beast Titan.
Oh, yeah.
And a bunch of other Titans, too, I believe. I can't remember exactly, but on the Beast Titan's shoulders, there stands von Hohenheim. Eren Yeager, who looks like von Hohenheim. And so now, again, does more questions raised than anything is answered. And finally, season 3 hit. And yeah, we're all in for a big treat / surprise / what the fuckery.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit happening in season 3.
Already. Oh my god. But we'll cover that next week.
Chris and I are caught up through episode 5, but
yes.
Gary doesn't like his subtitled anime. I don't read anime. I watch it.
Why read if you can watch a movie? A book takes 24 hours. A movie.
There's reasons why I can't. I have a hard time watching subs
because I can't multitask.
To be fair, Gary,
you want to know what it is recently?
Okay, I think we've had enough fun of taking the piss out of Gary.
We're just teasing.
What is it recently, Gary?
Recently, it's this. I don't care. but this is an actual thing that I feel. And now that I've realized it, it's very hard for me not to. It's like one of those things, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Pretty much, I can't stand the female voiceovers in Japanese. For this, no, listen. The reason for this is when there's like a scene where we're happy or they're crying or showing these crazy signs of emotion or in distress, I always feel like a giant tentacle is about to come out of nowhere and is going to turn into an anime that only Chris is going to enjoy.
Hey,
Whoa! What?
You secretly enjoy those too,
you
Gary.
forgot me as well, Gary.
Literally, this is how like I try to watch it, and they all sound like that to me. For me to get past that point now, yeah, it's just so overly exaggerated, and I know it's because I don't speak Japanese, so it sounds completely different to me. Japanese, maybe that's not how it would be. But literally, that's, and I'm like, oh my god,
I love it, Gary. I love it so
this
much.
sounds so good, and that's exactly what I feel is about to happen. Like, I hate feeling that way, and you can judge me for it all you want, but
Gary's seen enough hentai to know where this is going.
yeah.
Basically what it comes to. Well, you're the one that's always like, say, what anime should I watch? Black Bible. Or Bible Black.
You know what?
To everybody.
Because we're getting to near the end of the episode, you talk about what hentai to watch. Chris, it's your week to decide what we're watching.
All right. Well, I have a special treat, and I do hope that our other fellow podcasters, once they find out about this, will join us to talk about it, because this anime that I'm going to recommend is actually the other half of the two animes that I was watching when I kind of thought up the book anime club idea thing that I pitched to you guys that we're doing now. I was watching this one along with Hitori no Shita. I love it so much more than that one. I think I was a little disappointed Hitori no Shita didn't go over as well, to be honest, but that's how it goes. That's what this is all about. Trying new things. Trying new things. Sorry. This one was going on at the same time as this new season of My Hero Academia and the second season of Hitori no Shita. It just finished airing its first season in June. It is called Golden Kamui. And let me, in fact, read you the description here. The story takes place in the mighty northern field of Hokkaido. The time is in the turbulent late Meiji era. A post-war soldier, Sugimoto, a.k.a. Immortal Sugimoto, was in need of large sums of money for a particular purpose. What awaited Sugimoto, who stepped into Hokkaido's gold rush with dreams of making a fortune, was a tattoo map leading to a hidden treasure based on hints inscribed on the bodies of convicts in Abashiri prison. The magnificent nature of Hokkaido's versus vicious convicts and the meeting with a pure Ainu girl, a Sherpa, survival battle for a hidden treasure hunt begins. It's a little bit shonen, but it's period, and it's pretty accurate to. Oh, what can I say? There's nothing too wild going on, so it's pretty grounded. But I'm really enjoying it. It's called Golden Kamui.
Okay.
I hope you guys enjoy it.
Sounds good. Chris,
It looks like
you're
it's on
talking-
Crunchyroll, right?
What's that?
Looks like it's on Crunchyroll, right?
It is on Crunchyroll. I believe it is also animation, and it has some very superb English voice acting as well. I've watched both, and I love both the dub and the sub. The dub is very good, so Gary, you should be able to enjoy it. Very nice. In fact, you may recognize several voice actors on here. There it is.
Okay, Chris, do you mind doing a shout out and
I would love to.
how they can contact you?
Yes, I'd like to shout out friends, family, listeners, you guys. Shout out to Alfonso. Shout out to Tim. Shout out to Neil. Miss you guys. Love you all. If you want to get in contact with me, I can be found on the Twitter at Devangel. That's DEVANGIEL.
Gary?
Yeah, shout outs to you guys for having me on. Alfonso, Tim, who weren't able to join us,
We miss you,
Neil, too. And Gagaush, that's GAGLAUSH on Twitters.
And Klauss.
Oh, I want to shout out everybody who's been enjoying our podcast here, the listeners. Thank you so much for keeping us doing this. Shout out to the co-hosts, Chille, Garri, Chris. Thank you so much for putting up with my shit on here. Shout out to Neil, to Tim, Alfonso. We miss you guys. Shout out to basically everybody, so I don't miss anybody. Because I'm just having one of those days where it's like, I know I'm forgetting somebody, but it's just I'm having a brain fart really bad.
How can they contact you?
But you can catch me out on Twitter at PHXDN_KLAUSS, or you can catch me on one of my daily streams out at twitch.tv/PhoenixDownRadio.
Which you'll be streaming
Every day.
already.
Yeah, the stream will have happened by the time this has gone up. But like I said, I stream usually every night around 7 p.m. Central Time. So, Chris, so you can stop by.
Yay! All right.
I want to shout out to all my co-hosts. Thanks for putting up with me hosting today. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. Klauss.
It was dreadful.
And
I'm
Chris.
kidding. It was the best.
Shout out to Alfonso. We miss you. Shout out to Neil. We miss you just as much, and I hope you appear on again sometime soon. And a shout out to everyone that's listening, and a shout out to Tim. Miss you, Tim. And a shout out to Crunchyroll. Please sponsor us.
Or Funimation.
Or Funny or Netflix. We don't discriminate in anime here.
We're not going to insult any sort of service that will support us.
You know, we'd love to get some tickets so we can go see the My Hero Academia movie coming
yes,
up.
please, come on.
Ooh.
Come on. In fact, I'll
Shameless begging. I love it.
We'd love to give it a wonderful review for you.
Unless it's bad, then no. I currently bought with just tickets.
I think it can be done.
He needs at
cannot
least
be bought for
a soda and some popcorn as well.
Yeah. I mean, if you can find a place that sells nut-free popcorn, okay.
Okay, so you need jujubes and red rope licorice.
I don't even know.
Am I to assume that you're allergic to nuts, Ben?
Yeah. I'm
Does
allergic
that
to
mean
nuts.
that is that all kind of nuts? What kind
Yeah.
of nuts specifically are you allergic
All of
to?
them.
All of them?
Yeah.
So if I were to say come over and put my nuts on your forehead, you would get a rash.
I'll end the podcast with something my mum used to say then, okay? By the way, you can contact me at Chille UK. And as we're talking about nuts, I'm going to end with something my mum used to tell me. Right? Okay, everyone ready?
Mm-hmm.
Ben, the reason why you're so allergic to nuts is because you're nuts enough as it is. Till next
Good night, folks.
Bye.
Yeah.